The inflatable flamingo floated serenely in the pool when men in khaki vests stormed into my backyard as if they were raiding a drug lord's hideout. One of them clutched a clipboard with the intensity of wielding a firearm. I had precisely 10 seconds to sip my margarita, glance at the pink float, and comprehend that my dream pool, the one I'd invested my heart, soul, and far too much money into, was about to become the latest VY of an HOA power grab. They didn't knock or introduce themselves. They marched in as if they owned the property. The leader, a petite woman in impractical heels and oversized sunglasses that outshone her personality, pointed at the water and declared, "This is in violation." No greeting, no warning, and certainly no explanation I'd accept without either laughing or pinning a table. That was when I realized I wasn't just losing my pool, I was about to declare war. Not the social media ranting kind, but a meticulously planned, brilliantly executed HOA dismantling campaign they'd never anticipate. 3 months prior, that pool had been the centerpiece of my fresh start. After 12 years as an infrastructure engineer and a grueling divorce that included a shared custody battle over a golden retriever, I'd purchased my dream home, a quiet corner lot at the edge of a supposedly tranquil neighborhood, framed by towering sycamores and vibrant crepe myrtles. It was a place that promised renewal and practically begged for margaritas. The previous owner had left a scruffy backyard with a dilapidated swing set, but I saw opportunity. I drafted plans, secured permits, obtained official HOA approval, complete with a thinly veiled note about community cohesion, and broke ground with relentless determination. What emerged was a dazzling free-form oasis featuring a custom stone waterfall, mood lighting, and jets strong enough to propel a small child skyward. It was everything I'd envisioned, down to the koi-shaped, color-coordinated tiles. Neighborhood kids were captivated, passers-by offered compliments, and I even caught Mr. Harold, the elderly man 2 houses down, peering through the shrubs for a better look. Then came the letter. The HOA, under new management, had retroactively scrutinized recent home improvements and deemed my pool of violation of a 1984 bylaw banning visible backyard water features unless concealed by a 6-foot fence and HOA-approved landscaping with at least 65 fan-tram opacity. Before I finished reading, 2 realizations hit me. The rule predated my birth, and it reeked of a personal vendetta. That vendetta belonged to Linda Grayson, the newly elected HOA president who treated the community newsletter like a prestigious publication. She'd previously nitpicked my mailbox color, too vibrant, and my trash bin retrieval pace, too slow. This time, she meant business. The letter demanded I drain the pool, fill it in, and restore community compliance within 14 days or face escalating fines starting at due 500 daily. Delivered on embossed stationery, it oozed smugness. I attempted diplomacy, submitting original approvals, photos of the finished project, and an invitat ion to see its unobtrusive beauty. Linda countered by citing 3 dubious clauses I suspected she'd invented over a glass of cheap wine. At the next HOA meeting, I sought clarity but received a 30-minute lecture on visual harmony, while Linda's poodle snarled at me from beneath her chair. The board voted 4-1 to enforce the ban, with the sole dissenter, an elderly man named Walter, dozing off mid-vote. I appreciated his unintentional support. For days, I wallowed in despair deeper than my pool's deep end, watching my pristine oasis sparkle mockingly in the sun. I began draining it one night, stopping only when the trickling water felt like my pride swirling down a luxurious drain. Margarita in hand, flamingo float bobbing in the moonlight, I resolved not to surrender. I wouldn't fill in the pool, I'd outwit the HOA at their own game. A plan took shape, sparked by a college friend, Ethan, now a landscape architect. I messaged him, "What's the biggest water feature I can legally install that's not a pool?" He responded with a winking emoji and a link to naturalistic recreational streams with passive circulation systems. I didn't fully understand it, but it sounded like the perfect blend of vengeance and serenity. The next morning, I halted the pool drainage and ordered more stone, plants, and 2 tons of river rock. The HOA wanted opacity? They'd get it along with flow rates, aquatic plant integration, and a layout so intricate it would baffle a beaver. I aimed to create a water feature so magnificent, so compliant, and so cunning that they couldn't dismantle it without torching their own regulations. I didn't just want Vitoria, I wanted them to root targeting my backyard. This wouldn't be a pool by definition, but something sly, dynamic, and entirely unexpected. It began with a sketch on a crumpled napkin from beneath an old takeout container in my car. I met Ethan at a downtown taco truck, and over burritos, I presented the HOA letter, saying, "I need a water feature big, not a pool, and capable of making Linda combust with fury." Ethan didn't flinch. He chewed thoughtfully, then asked, "Legal mischief or structural chaos?" "Both," I replied. He grinned, pulled a pin from behind his ear, and started drawing. The concept was straightforward yet audacious. If the HOA banned pools without absurd screening, I'd build a decorative multi-zone eco-simulated water feature, a waterfall feeding a koi pond, a stream encircling my property, and, concealed beneath, a jet-powered, adult-sized lazy river masked by boulders, bridges, and dense foliage. It would resemble a refined nature park but function as my personal water ride. Ethan agreed to assist, stipulating I name the waterfall Ethan Falls. I consented, and he dove in. First, he reclassified my permit as a sustainable water circulation system with integrated landscape irrigation, a phrase that evaded city scrutiny and qualified for an eco-friendly rebate. Linda had banned my pool, and now I'd be paid to outdo it. Next, I enlisted my childhood friend, Rachel, a property law consultant with a passion for coffee and loopholes. Armed with 3 laptops, a binder of HOA legalese, and a portable espresso machine, she dissected the bylaws, laughing at their vagueness. The HOA's failure to define pool beyond recreational bodies of water was our loophole. As construction began, I hired a crew accustomed to koi ponds and sanctuaries, not pools. We dismantled the rectangular basin, reshaping it into a meandering path with slopes, stone inlets, and rest zones doubling as current generators. A faux boulder, the Rock of Secrecy, housed a hidden pump and solar-powered filtration system, ensuring environmental compliance. Every detail adhered to HOA rules and letter, not spirit, making it exquisite. Linda noticed the work. Initially, she observed from across the street, sunglasses glaring. Then she knocked, feigning politeness, and asked if I was building another pool. "No," I smiled. "It's a certified passive irrigation and decorative stream." She squinted, declined my lemonade, and muttered about close monitoring. Her next move was a surprise visit with the HOA's compliance officer, a weary man named Tom. I showcased the native plants, natural stone, and educational signage about water conservation, complete with Ethan's water cycle diagram. Tom nodded. Linda looked ready to shriek into a shrub. When the stream was complete, neighbors marveled at the winding paths and waterfall. Kids dipped their feet in, and I hosted a garden stream opening with brochures to feign academia. Linda attended, glowering over cucumber water, but the lazy river's brilliance was its modularity. A remote switch toggled the current. By day, it was a tranquil stream. By night, it became a joyride with LED lights, underwater speakers, and a disguised dock. I'd float under the stars, drink in hand, circling my house like a triumphant monarch. Linda fought back, emailing the board about water misuse and unpermitted amusement structures, but Rachel's rebuttals were legally airtight. The HOA and city had approved the plans, and my water usage undercut the neighborhood average, thanks to a spite-fueled rainwater system. Linda was cornered. A local blogger, Mia, featured my project in innovative eco-yards in suburbia, dubbing it HOA-friendly design. The VY-RAL article, with photos of me smugly afloat, cemented my triumph. Comments praised my ingenuity, one noting, "This guy proves you can beat the system with brains, landscaping, and pettiness." It wasn't just revenge, it was a statement. The war wasn't over, though. Linda had one final gambit brewing, and I was ready with a secret weapon, an underwater tunnel linking my garage to the lazy river. Game on.